Alright, hello tertiary year 12 students. Look, I think I did a rubbish job at explaining this question that you can hopefully see on your screen at last week's AST session. And I think it is quite important that we go through it because it is a fairly typical logic type problem that could arise in the AST, and I do want to show you how you can sort of work through this to try and solve it. So to start with, I've just set up a grid that I've listed the villages, and at the top of the question it sort of says that 4 of the villages are on the coast and 4 in the highlands. So I've just broken 4 and 4. I've also then put the characteristics, so they could be either vegetarian or non-vegetarian, or they could have brown or black hair. I've also put a total in. So I've just set up a very basic grid. So next bit of information says that there's 350 people that have brown hair, so I'm going to pop that in. On the next one it says 400 people were non-vegetarian. Now we actually don't know how many have black hair, and we don't know how many were vegetarian at this stage, so we've got to leave them blank. Now I'm just going to work through each of these villages and put in the information that we've been given. So village 1, 50 people, all of whom were vegetarian and had brown hair. And I'm going to put 0 in for non-vegetarian and black because they just can't be. It's mentioned in the question. Next village, 50 people, all of whom were non-vegetarian but also had brown hair. So I'm going to put the 0s in. And also total of 53. 20 people, all vegetarian and black hair. And finally, for the highland, we don't know how many people, but we do know they're all non-vegetarian, and we know they're all black hair. So what that means is I can actually put 0 in there, and I can put 0 in there. Village 5, 170 people, all of whom are non-vegetarian and black hair. So I can, just like the ones above, fill in all the bits. 6, 150 people, so I'm up to here, 150 people, all of whom were non-vegetarian and brown hair. That means 0 and 0. In 7 and 8 we don't know how many people, but we know that all vegetarian in this one and black hair, which means that these guys, that has to be 0 and that has to be 0. And for the last one, they're all vegetarian and brown hair. Now we're not quite finished at this stage, so hopefully you can see that in this column we're actually only missing one bit of information. This all here. We know there's 400 in total. So if I add up 170 plus 350, we get 320, plus another 50, we get 370, which actually means that needs to be 30, because otherwise it wouldn't add up to 400. That means that is also 30. And that is 30 also as well. We've actually got the exact same situation in this column where we're only missing one bit of information. So we've got 150 plus 50 and 50. So what are we short? 100 people. And I can make that 100. And I can make that 100. Now that's all the information that we have. I can't put a total there. I can't put a total there because I haven't got this information. But if we now have a look at the question, I mean 22 is pretty easy now that we've put in everything that we can. The one with the most number of people is that there, there's 100. That one's 70, 80, 50. So brown hair would be that one. How many people lived in village 4? Well, you worked that out, but that was more difficult. How many in village 8? So can you see that hopefully that now that you've filled out the grid, it's actually quite straightforward. Like 22, 23 and 24 are very, very simple. Now 25 adds a bit more information. If total was 850, I'll put that in there. The grand total number of people is 150. I'll make that look colourful. Then we can actually fill in this cell here. So 50, 50, 20 is 320, plus 30 is 150, plus this is 320, 470, 570. So therefore there are actually 280 people in this village right here, which means that needs to equal 280, which means that needs to equal 280. So, altogether, how many were vegetarian and had black hair? And I need to add these up as well. So I get 20 plus 20 is 50, 170 is 220, plus that is 500. I'll make that green. And then if I do 50 plus 20 is 70, plus 280 is 350, plus 100 is 450. Is that right? Yeah, 450. So then we need to actually have a look at how many were vegetarian and had black hair. So if you have a look here, are they vegetarian and black hair? No, none. Are they vegetarian and have black hair? No. Are they? Yes. 20. These two as well. 300. They're the only two. So our answer here is A. Anyway, I hope that helps. I've sort of have raced through that, but you can listen to it again, obviously. I think for questions like this, if you can have a look and try and fill in as much as you can before you even look at the question, it is actually easier than trying to sort of go through each question one at a time. So try and complete as much as you can and then go on to the question.